Distinguished guests, dear professors and students, allow me that in the name of EPOKA University and Future Engineers Club to welcome you in this workshop on opportunities and challenges on future engineers. Firstly, I want to thank Zurich EPOKA and Macaferi Balkans for the support on this organization. And secondly, allow me to invite the lecturer who has been advising Future Engineers Club for the last academic year, Mr. Erion Luga.
Hello everybody, thank you for participating in this activity. For sure it's very important for us to see you in this room because it's a big support for the students, especially who have been working during this year to prepare different activities for the Future Engineers Club. I will give some information about this club but not much in detail because one of our members and one of our board members is going to explain our activities in details. But just a short history of our club and why do we deal with this club. Future Engineers Club is a student club dedicated mainly to the students of the civil engineering department. Our club was born almost at the same time with our university, and it has grown together with EPOKA, the department and its members. It is very important to point on this that one of the founders of this club is now a lecturer of EPOKA University. One of the best examples is Mr. Enea Mustafaray, one of the founders of this club, who has had a great contribution. Who has had a great contribution on it and now is a PhD candidate and lecturer at the Department of Civil Engineering. As you can see, one of our students, of this university students, or this department students, has founded this club, and now it goes on from the beginning of our university. Also, during time, many other students and members of the club have given their contribution to our club. Our department also is one of the 3 founding departments of EPOKA University. It is a well-established department, and its curricula are in compliance with the curricula of civil engineering departments of the best universities in the world. It is also modified when needed in order to be up to date with the evolution of science and technology in the developed countries. But there are many things you cannot learn about your profession even through the best curricula, especially in the area of civil engineering. So every one of us may know that you cannot learn everything from school, but some things are needed to be learned in practice. And even having a high GPA is not enough to be a good engineer, because you need to possess some skills such as good communication, teamwork, being able to find practical solutions, etc. And civil engineers know it better than anyone else. For a fresh graduated civil engineer, it needs at least 3 months, up to 1 year, and sometimes even more to adapt to the market requirements. And sometimes this lack of experience can be an obstacle to find a job. So it is very difficult in general for civil engineering students after they are graduated. When they start working, it is very difficult to find a new job. And also it is very difficult to adapt, because sometimes it seems that the things that you have learned at school are not related at all with the ones that you are going to practice. But you just need to find a way to use them, because engineering student has a lot of knowledge, but you just need to know how to use this knowledge in the work. So what we are trying to do with our club is prepare our students for the engineering market as soon as possible in order to decrease this adaptation period to a minimum time, and also enrich their CVs of our students in order to be ready to compete the global market. In this context, we have worked hard to organize activities such as workshops and seminars, as well as social activities, in order to merge learning with entertainment. Dealing with the Students' Club is completely a voluntary issue for the academicians as advisors, as well as for the students, who beside their courses and exams should share some time to these extra activities. And it is really difficult to keep going on with something for which you are not paid. So you can do something volunteer until that time, but you need motivation and energy to continue doing it without being paid. It needs a lot of energy, motivation, and passion. And your participation is what we needed to get motivated to continue with our belief that we are doing a good thing. So many people sometimes do some things, but as you see that nobody is hearing what you are talking about, you seem as you are a person out of the society, but your participation means a lot to us. It means that we are doing something good. I also would like to invite you to be more involved in the future activities of our club. Whereas regarding the students who will graduate this year, I wish them the best in their career, and I hope that they will contribute in the future for the improvement of our activities, this time as civil engineering professionals. Thank you very much. I hope you benefit from this activity. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor, for your words. Now I'd like to invite two board members of the Future Engineers Club, Almida Kazio and Fatlin Dervishi, to give a quick review on the past year's activities that the club has organized.
Hello to everyone. My name is Fatlin Dervishi. I'm from Kosovo. I study here at EPOKA University in the Department of Civil Engineering in the second year, and I'm also the Secretary of EPOKA Future Engineers Club. Now I'm going to present to you the Future Engineers Club activities in the academic year 2013-2014. But first, let me start by introducing to you the mission of our club, which is to provide a forum for all future engineers and others whose common interest is in different engineering disciplines, and to increase the future engineers' knowledge in engineering aspects in all of its phases. This includes communication, organization skills, as well as training in different technical matters. So to help the students to become valuable individuals, to help to the development of the Albanian country. So in order to accomplish our mission, we recognize that four types of activities were essential, which are educational activities, social and cultural activities, open forums, and organization as well as attending of international activities. In the category of educational activities, Future Engineers Club, together with the Civil Engineering Department of EPOKA University, organized some workshops. One of them is also the design of a building using Eurocodes, which was held by Mr. Endri Juleku. This workshop consisted on the practical implementation of Eurocodes and the structural design of a real building, and the design was done in SAP 2000 and detailed in AutoCAD 2015. In the end of the workshop, all the participating students were rewarded with a certificate. Here I want to mention that Future Engineers Club during this academic year went to a journey in Turkey, and during this journey Future Engineers Club members visited the laboratories and earthquake research center at RGS University. During this visit, the laboratories were introduced by the professors, who explained the different machines and their functionality, as well as some tests were performed and the students participated in these tests.
Hello everyone. Dear participants, dear guests, dear academics and lecturers. Well, I'm honored to represent you a work that we have been done and we are doing also with our members and also our club, Future Engineers Club. My name is Almida Kazio. I'm a second year student from the Civil Engineering Department. I am let's just say, in the charge of the publications that are everything that is published in the Future Engineering Club part. Well, I did this presentation as a web page because we're having some, it's very important to spread out the information, what we do, what we're doing. And if you go and click, if you go at the EPOKA University's web page, and if you go at the club, Students Club, you will find this link that is written over there. You can click on it, and you will find all the activities that we do, publications, events, and everything else. As I said, I'm responsible for the publication part, and the one you're having in your hands is our journal. It's called Engineering Zone. Okay, let's just Google it for a minute. Engineering Zone is a student journal, and is created, designed, and published by Future Engineers Club. It has been a tradition and also a significant, important work and also publication for our club because it represents all the students' experiences, all the students' knowledge, what they have been researching, and also it encourages what are the technical revolutions that are going to happen or are happening in the engineering field. The importance of the journal is also related to the students involved in research, the paper writing, also the format of an article, how to refer it to the sources, how to use those sources, and also the ability to summarize and conclude all the information that is needed. So, we involve in our journal student research papers. We involve student papers on civil engineering fields like construction materials, high-rise building construction, airport and transportation engineering, also hydropower and water resources engineering, technologies in civil engineering, and others. And also, in the end, you will find the club activities and informations. We must say also that our club, as it was said before from Professor Erjon, has born with the university and also with the department. But we had, let's just say, a timeout about the club, and we want to re-initiate it. So, before there were two other journals published. This is not the first one. This is the third one, I'm sorry. The first one was the Engineering Zone, published in 2011. Well, the main focus was on the Millau Viaduct, the world's highest bridge. And the Engineering Zone number 2, which is that over there, is published in the 2nd of May 2011, and it concludes more about Albania, making the first move of the Albania today, Albania tomorrow, etc. We are having also, the one you're holding in your hands is Engineering Zone number 3. And it includes, we try to focus in every single aspect of civil engineering. And our main focus was on hydropower and energy engineering, which is the Hoover Dam, a concrete masterpiece. Well, these are parts, as you can see, from the civil engineering zone number 1. I try to show you what are we including in. We are including bridge structure, we are including student papers, and this is what I expect from each member. All of you who have papers, who want to publish, please send them. I'm going to tell you the contacts. We need these publications, and it's very important for you also to have a publication in a journal. It may be a student journal because it's made by students, of course, but it's very important for us and for all of you who want to publish something to send it to us so we can collaborate with the ideas, with the research you've made, and everything else. This is the engineering zone number 1, and these are parts from the engineering zone number 2. And as I said, it's included more about Albania. Albania tomorrow, we're having student paper also, a case study. We're having interesting facts about civil engineering world and technologies involved. Also, what about stadiums? Everyone loves football, right? So let's just include something that makes you feel better, it's funny, and also learn something about engineering. Well, the one you're holding in your hand, as I said, is the third one. This is a cover. I'm sorry, it's not working. Okay. This is the cover. Here are the contents. In this number you will find ancient engineering. Sometimes each of us, even human beings, need to know where they have been, to know where they are and where they're going to. So what about ancient engineering? And we took the example of Pont du Gard, the Roman Empire's strongest masterpiece. After that we had the bridge structure. Actually this bridge is very, very beautiful because it's Europe's largest water bridge. So in the bridge do not only human paths or cars or automobiles and things like that, also boats and also river and water. So how to achieve this one? This is also very important. Transportation engineering, we want to spread out transportation. How is it implemented in the world? Why is it so important? In Albania, maybe it's needed, but it's not given the right attention. So what about this one? And also we included Kansai International Airport. It's an airport built in the sea, in an artificial island. So in Japan, actually, there are earthquakes, right? So how they managed this? How did engineers manage this one? And the world's best airports, according to Airport Council International. So maybe you would like to check out who are those airports. Which are these airports? Tunnel engineering, where tunnels are becoming even more important. We included the largest tunnel. It's in Norway. It's the world's largest tunnel. So it's 24.5 kilometers, and it includes the first place for the world's largest tunnel. Also, we're having the Channel Tunnel, the masterpiece of Europe, let's just say. We have water resources engineering, the Hoover Dam. Actually, for the Hoover Dam, we were inspired from the engineer and also the US President, Herbert Hoover. He was an engineer, and we thought to include the Hoover Dam, not because of only it has to do with civil engineering, but it was also because he's really inspiring, and this is the reason why this dam took the name. The structural engineering, this is a student paper, earthquake-resistant design of building structures, lessons learned from past earthquakes. Construction materials, these are very important also. We included student paper, building green with concrete, using recycled concrete as course aggregate in engineering field. Concrete is being used nearly in the levels of water. If you do some calculations or if you search on the net, it's kind of this problem. And it contains some ingredients. What about to recycle it, to use the same concrete that old buildings, unfunctional buildings are using? And after that, we have the robot that eats structural concrete. This is a technology, a new technology going to be involved. We're having properties of shape memory alloys, and I'll explain each of them. As I said, we have the Pondugard. It is seen from the engineering point of view, the method of construction, Pondugard Second Life, and practical information that you will find in the magazine. After that is, as I said, the Magdeburg water bridge is Europe's largest water bridge. You will see the technical specifications, some of them, how it is used, how it has been built, what is incorporated in it. Also after that, as I said, Kansai International Airport is an airport built in the sea. Well, it looks like they had no terrain to build an airport, so a new idea, let's build it in an island, an artificial island. And this is one of the largest airports in Japan, and one of the largest in the world. After that is the largest tunnel, as I said, is one of the longest tunnels in the world, and is one of the best tunnels having the best air condition among its environment in the whole world. So what about this challenge? As you see, the Bergen city and Oslo has been merged, or let's just say incorporated, using this tunnel. How about it? So we wanted to explain or to see how much you can benefit from it. After that, we have the Hoover Dam. As I said, is all built of concrete, is a concrete masterpiece. You will find it how much difficult was it, but also you'll find some management tricks. So the manager of this one scheduled and reached to finish it 2 years before the deadline, which is crazy, but it happened. So how did this happen? We explained it, all of this. And after that, we wanted to include something very important for the Balkan part and also for Albania. We had the pleasure of having the engineer Andi Dukain here to explain the transatlantic pipeline. And I wanted to include all the information in the engineering zone. This is a student paper. Actually, this student paper is one of my works, and also of my colleague Violeta Dimitrescu. Well, I never find this chance anymore, but I wanted to thank you, my professor who helped me with this student paper, together with my teammate, Professor Hussein Begin. Please, an applause. Also, you will find another student paper, Recycling of Concrete. It's very important for us not only to show student papers and research, but also how to use references, how to refer the sources. This is very important. Also, in this case, we are fighting against plagiarizing. In this one, you have the robot that eats structural concrete. Well, what about this robot who just eats the concrete, separates it, and it is recycled? This is a technology. It is one of the newest technologies being involved from a Turkish student, and it's going to be implemented, and maybe the paper that we did before won't have any importance if we see this done and realized. After that, you will have construction materials. These are, I must say, these are research made by students. All of this is research made by students. You will find very few examples which are taken or summarized. Properties of shape memory alloys. This is also another student paper which concluded construction materials and polymers. Why they're so important? Because we've been hearing concrete polymer and stuff like this. So what about these ones? How can they be implemented in the construction materials? After that, we wanted to give some information about top 8 future technological materials, and these are some of them. The other one, which is really important, is that over there, which included this one, which included transparent aluminium. What about building a building which is transparent but is made of aluminium? So you will think maybe it's standing alone in the clouds, but actually is a technological material being invented who can be used. Well, in the end, as my colleague also explained, we have the club activities. As I said, we are very eager to have new members in our club. And believe me, guys, it's fun. You get to know new engineers. Also, most of them consider us like, colleagues in the future, which is weird, but you feel honored for this. And also, you get to collaborate with your professors. They try to give as much as they can, how they can help you. Also, you meet with other students who have different experiences. Well, I've been one of those who have been in Istanbul, and I met a lot of engineers which collaborate with each other from different countries around the world. And it was a great honor, because it means that we need this community of engineers that maybe in Albania isn't existent, but it should exist. Well, this is the real page of Future Engineers Club. As I said, you can go in the EPOKA University, student clubs, and you'll have about us, the board, the activity plan, the announcement, the events, and publications. You will find in the publications the 3 journals we have published, so they are also online for those who want to read. Also, you can contact us. These are the contacts. We have our email. Also, you can follow on our Facebook page, EPOKA Future Engineers Club. And for all those who want to send papers, they have good material, or they want to share their knowledge, please write me at this address or even at the Facebook page. Well, I wanted to finish with a saying that is said by the Herbert Hoover, as I said. It is a great profession. There is the fascination of watching the pigment of the imagination emerge through the aid of science to a plan on paper. Then it brings jobs and homes, it elevates the standards of living and adds to the comforts of life. And this is the engineer's highest privilege. Well, thank you for your attention. If you have questions, I'm open to it.
Well, thank you guys for your presentations. Now I'd like to introduce you to our first guest speaker, Mr. Saimir Huta, who is the CEO of McAfee Balkans, and he will make an introduction on the profile of the company. Let us welcome Mr. Huta.
First of all, I am very pleased to participate in this workshop, because I see the next future to be in sure hands. And I'm, let's say, very privileged to be among the young engineers, also having this kind of, I can say, challenges for the future, which for sure can bring, not only for them, in the personal point of view, but also for their families and their surrounding people, environment, and specifically to the country itself, will bring a lot of benefits. So thank you again for being so optimist, making so optimist, let's say, our generation, which is older than you, of engineers. And believe me, this is a kind of surprising, because I was not expecting to have such kind of organization. This is due to the fact that the university, EPOKA itself, is going to produce all of this, let's say, environment for you, to make available to you, to have this kind, such kind of results, I mean. Okay, so I don't like to be so much distributed on my speech, and introducing Magaferi. I hope the right one or the left one? The right one. Okay. So actually, Magaferi Group is a worldwide distributed group, specified for geotechnical products, in particular for the environmental solutions. Our motto is very simple. Is let's say well familiar and so well fitting with your motto, which is engineering a better future, engineering a better solution we have. For you as the young engineers, you have to have the challenge to engineering a better solution, also as we do. Actually, we are distributed in many solutions, as you can see. So landfills, I'm starting with the latest step, because landfills is the challenge for the future of the country. We are living in Albania, and we see that the environment is one of the most problematic issues, because we have a beautiful country, but we have less attention to protect this beauty. At the same time, we have to think about recycling, as I heard here that you have already made some investigation on recycling. And landfills are very important for us to be designed to be also supplied by our materials. Of course, one of the problematics that you can hear frequently, it is the erosion control. The erosion control is one of the most important issues, actually, knowing and having consideration the geology of the country. Albania has a very specific, let's say, situation for geology, having a very common, let's say, views and cases with the other part, which is Italy, South Italy specifically, and surrounding countries. As we did just mentioned a few minutes by colleagues, tunnels are now a new challenge in the engineering solutions. We are working intensively with our, let's say, engineering department. Our engineering department is based in Bologna, Italy, working in specific cases for the new products that we have to launch for the tunnels construction. Rockfall protection. You know very well how is important the rockfall protection. Now, being the safety on the highways is half done, half not done. You know very well that the slopes are not well protected, and we have to do a lot of things in the next future. For the pipelines, it's the new issue that we have to see for the future. In specific case, we have the new pipeline of gas passing through Albania, which is the TAP project. And with the TAP project, I think we have the case to work together and also to explain for our materials together. Let's move. I made just a general brief, you know, for what we have as a typical production. Of course, to give a solution is important to have, on the other hand, the materials that you will be able to test, but also to verify, but also to prove, but also to convince the market. This is a very important issue, because you are engineers. Maybe you are already starting to produce papers. I mean, to design something, to put your ideas, to have new ideas. But the important thing is to test what you are designing, what you are suggesting. So, behind of all the solutions, there are materials and there are tests. Of course, developing solutions, you must develop also the softwares, making this solution privileged to everybody. I mean, to everybody, to every engineer. The basic product is the gabion. Basic, I mean the oldest one. Gabion, it is used as with the meaning of a cage filled by natural materials since from the Roman time. The time that the steel itself was not existing, but they were using ropes or environmental material to create cages just to use it in the nature and to prevent, you know, to prevent the sliding areas and also to create embankments, of course, according to the situation what was in the Roman time. But Machiavelli was the pioneer to develop this old idea did come through the story by Roman to a new modern let's say product which is made by steel, which is a very high quality steel, and also elaborated, I mean protected against the erosion, which is very important for the long lasting of the product. Anyway, I don't like to get more time, because also you will see, I think it is foreseen after this workshop kind of exhibition that how it is made a gabion, how it will be filled a gabion, how it will be constructed a gabion. Two workers are coming from our side to show you or to make possible to have a real impact on this product. I said that it's important to have the solution from engineering point of view, but also to have a full and deep study about the materials. Materials has to be for sure in the construction in the maximum level that science can achieve at the current situation. So actually we are developing the raw materials based on the condition where the materials are applied. For instance, the raw materials that we use means the steel wire. It is done by a steel which is having a balance between three characteristics. to be enough plastic in order to be elaborated, to be enough resistance, to have the right resistance when it is needed, especially have the right strength when the forces are applied to the structure, and at the same time to be enough elastic in order to have possibility not to break down the structure, to have the facility to be flexible. So for this issue, we develop the new raw materials. New raw material which consists high-tech steel after covering Galmac. Galmac is a alloy. I don't know if you are familiar with this term. It is a anti-erosion for gains to the environment, to the steel. So it is a protection against to the erosion of the environment. Usually in classic way it is used by zinc, but later is developed to have alloy, zinc plus aluminium. And later on it is added the polymeric cover to make it So as you can see, gabions can be used almost everywhere in the environment, infrastructure, in the river protection, as you can see in the railways, in the roads, also in retaining walls, having on the top a very important structure as a building. We have later on developed structures that can fit also with the architectural solutions, because it is one hand you use for the infrastructure, it is also important to make your living area nice. Just a few days ago, I saw one, let's say, documentary. It was a service in the German TV that a German family was trained to make such kind of wall, inside of house. They were going to get these cages, these gabions, on the market. You are very privileged because you have the factory just a few hundred meters far away from here, so you can buy few cages. You can do it with your, let's say, with yourself for fun in your home, And in Germany, I verify, because I have been also working in Germany a few years, that it is really a fun to do something. In specific cases, engineers, young, old engineers, they like to do something in their garden, in their house, in their environment, in their quarter. This makes for them exciting, even the weekends or the days off, This is a way how you treat not only your knowledges, but also you treat your free time, Of course, the condition of construction are changed during time, and more, let's say, specific inquiries are, let's say, are available to be solved out. Means retainings not only by simple structure as gabions, but retaining combined with the reinforcement. So at this point, it was developed the idea to have structures that in the front can be used by gabions, and in the backside can be used the reinforcement, and to respect the environment, to have materials around to the area or to the site of working to be reused. So you excavate. If you have a good material, you keep it in your site, and when you construct, instead of using other materials, you reuse or you recycle the material that you have already excavated. This is the meaning of doing such kind of big structure. I have friends which we work on site. We fight on site, you know, with these kind of structures, like 40-meter high structures, retaining structures. That was something amazing also in Europe, but we have done here in Albania. And these are made by reinforcement soil system, which contains the Terra Mesh, is our product developed, plus the jaw grids on the backside. Of course, this is a combined solution, and in this combined solution you have to have as a, let's say, a backup, not only the design, not only the product, but as I said, it's important this knowledge to be distributed to all the engineers, to be, the Italians say, pane quotidiano, which means the bread of daily bread for every engineer. Because it's important that everybody of you can have access to have the right, let's say, software to make not only testing by constructing on designing and designing a structure like that, but also dimensioning, because it's very important. You can see we have colleagues here that they have participated in this construction. This is in Albania, it's 40 something like that, 39, 40 meter high structure. And you can see this is in Greece. We have worked together in cooperation with Actor, which is already here in the market, and we are still working not only in Albania but all over the area, Serbia, Macedonia. Actually, we are involved in Qatar in a big project. Dams, you know, unbelievable to say that with these structures, soil reinforced structure, you can build big, high dams and respecting the environment. This is very important, by the way. Also, let's say reinforcement soil, but inside of urbanistic areas, using concrete as a facing, in order to give a nice, let's say, facade, and at the same time to use inside soil which is compacted, which is reinforced by specific geogrids that we produce in order to have a very nice long-lasting structure. Of course, the facing you can choose according to your city, let's say, to the urbanistic development of the city, and all these are developed by us. We give the molds to the client. The client is going to perform the production of the facing. Of course, this is a solution that it is somehow combined by not only geometric forms, but also by function. What kind of function? It is a highway, it is going to be a bridge, whatever. So you have to adapt the solution according to your intention to construct. So geogrids. You can see geogrids arrive to our factories produced on the values of 1,350 kilonewton. I don't know how much you are familiar with the geogrids, but geogrids with our competitors like Usker is a very respectable company in Germany. They are stopping around to the value of 1,000 kilonewton. We have already in our, let's say, production range, 1,350, which is registered, which is proved, which is certificate, and we deal with these geogrids actually for a new airport in Ireland, reinforcement of the new airport in Ireland, basic, basal reinforcement in the airport, which means that the product are going to be developed passing the time. You know, Using the geogrids, it's not an old use. It is just a matter of 20, 30 years. The geogrids are going to be used widely. Somehow you can see the embanking, big, huge embanking in the infrastructure cannot be afforded by financial meaning, by time meaning, by also cost on the environmental, meaning, because cost of environment, what it is, just briefly, I want to ask you, if you know the carbon footprint effect. Have you meet this term, carbon footprint element? No. Okay, this is important actually because, some analyses are made according to how much the transport it is done for one product of construction. So much the transport is involved, so much is environment damaged because of the chlorofluorocarbons which are going through the transport means. And in this kind of solutions you have materials there on site. And everything which is coming in your site, it is packed, it is small, you just have to open it and you have just to install it. And the materials you use on site. Bechtel, for instance, and Actor also at the same time. Now actually we have a cooperation also to develop a project, hydropower. I have colleagues of mine that they are working quite well in very, very specific and difficult conditions. Also Bechtel worked in very particular conditions that used the excavating materials to recycle it and to use as a filling material for these big embankments. Also using opportunity to spend less time. This is very important. Time now actually means money. Don't forget, your families are going to invest you here for your studies, but don't forget the time. For you, it's not time to be spent. It's time to be used. Also for a construction company, I have colleagues here also, we can share this idea. Time is very important on cost for a construction company. That's why I'm pushing on this time, saving time is very important issue. I told at the beginning that now we are working very hard in Europe, all Europe, especially in the candidate countries for Europe like Montenegro and Serbia, for the landfills. Fortunately here there are some efforts but not yet done properly. There are some efforts but not done properly. Probably we hope after having this status, new status of candidate, the things will get improved. Of course, this kind of structure needs for sure earthworks, needs for sure reinforcement of the structure, and needs for sure to have an environment clean at the end. So you use, and after you don't destroy the environment. You see there are a lot of products. All these products for landfills are designed, are produced, are tested by us. Of course, we need cooperation with university. I was talking with Professor Hussein that we soon have to make some steps towards to do testing in your university, that we can involve also students, not only professors, by testing. Also, our R&D department will start to study some new materials through your university, just to cooperate better also on this point. I think it will be benefit also of the students, for sure. So these are the layers that we use, and these are, you can see a lot of materials which are involved. One of the most important things, it is the rockfall protection. Rockfall protection, it is a matter of not protecting environment, not protecting infrastructure, but protecting human lives. We are so much in Albania, I'm talking, so much not attentive to the fact that on the road that we are passing, we see on the slopes are not protected. I'm not saying at all, but if there are cases that are protected, they're not 100% sure. So for you, as new engineers, please consider the life very important when you design. The life for a passenger or a car that's passing through, a bus passing through, very important. You have to take care of the rockfall. The rockfall is, as you can see, in different classes. After I left this presentation also to share between you, so you can see in details. I don't like to enter in the lot of materials that we produce. We are the second worldwide, because the first is the one Swiss company, just telling very open. Macaferi was starting just 10 years ago. But as idea, as a design, that is important. We started before the Swiss company, Joe Brook. The Swiss company used our ideas on designing and developed the products. Started to be the pioneer on the products. So it's important also for you, not only to design. When you do a product, you have to think, a product on designing point of view, you have to think also the way and the materials that you have to use to implement that product. That design that you have to do. So after that, we developed a lot of our old idea, keeping in mind that in this, it's not a matter of only engineering, but it is a matter of need. Because having two companies, it is one Austrian also company, two companies cannot cover all over the needs for the materials worldwide. Because we work in all the countries, all over the world. We have around 60 companies, producing, which is not a small number of factories. We ourselves produce this material in our facility in Macaferi Balkans here in Tirana, which is a new factory made just 3.5 years ago. So you can come to see also the production. You can come with Professor Hussein and Professor Yavuz. We can organize, let's say, special visits of you to see the production. Not only designing whatever. You can come and you can see the production, what is going on with this kind of material. We have symmetric and not symmetric reinforced, netting for the rock falls. And we have high energy absorbance panels, which are the latest development. You can see that also with the barriers, we arrive up to, also this is important to say, that these products are developed through Politecnico di Torino, which means that university is important when you develop a new product. It's important because university can verify, can study carefully all the elements. We can give the idea with university together, we can design, we can calculate. And this is a testing area in Belluno. We used to do our test for all the rockfall materials. You can see the last one is you can see also we have a company specialized, which is Consorzio Triveneto Rocciatori in Belluno. We do our tests at the same time we arrive every year to improve the level of absorbance. energy absorbance. We arrive up to now to test 10,000 kilojoule barrier, 10,000 kilojoule. You can imagine a full truck, a big truck, loaded, can go through the barrier and can stay over there. You can imagine, just to see what is the top level actually developed and also registered. It is available. So a full truck can run through up to the barrier point and the barrier can stop it. So there are different systems, different cases that we have to use. Also important is to use, in specific, this is a product which comes through a bad experience. You know, there are also, this is coming a new, let's say, a new point of view for you. There are two ways that you do designing. You do designing because you have studied a lot, you have learned a lot through your professor, through your studies and whatever, and you develop something, I mean a new design, a new project, a new product, by the way. And there are also cases, unfortunately, that you design because something bad happened. This is the case. As you can see, we made fences 20,000 kilojoule. Means 2 trucks loaded full can go through these barriers, can crash and can stay over there. This is because in Valle d'Aosta there was a village destroyed totally because of a sliding area, a big sliding area, which destroyed everything, killed everything which was inside of the houses over there. After that, because of this, it was somehow forced the idea to make some barriers in order that this village will be rebuilt again. So it was done, so-called duna protection. Duna protection, this is with soil reinforced system. In concrete cases, called green terra mesh system. Green terra mesh, it is going to be used also by backfilling, by reinforcement inside, and also having hydroseeding on the facing and having a green impact from outside looking. Not just only concrete. I don't have anything against to the concrete, by the way. I respect the professors doing with the concrete a lot of research. I respect, because you see our products have to do with the concrete, you know, in the urbanistic area. But in the environmental point of view, I refer to Germany standards. In Germany, there are studios, I mean designing studios, designing companies, that they have state, let's say, guidelines to use the designing in the environmental. When they have opportunity to use geotechnical solutions, which are much more friendly with the environmental, they are conditioned to use, instead of concrete, this kind of solutions. Otherwise, the penalty in Germany, they cancel the license of the company. This is not in the other country. In Germany, is a tough issue for the environment. When you design in the environment and you have two solutions, with the concrete and with geosynthetic and geotechnical geotechnical products prevail, absolutely. If they verify you haven't used it, it's kind of pain after. So just to keep in mind this, this is also, I'm not saying isolated, but also there is a spot of using this material. And this spot is nature. Of course, inside of the city, as I said, everybody can use it for fun. In their garden, in house, you know, you can use for fun. Instead of making walls like that, small in the garden, you can use to make it with a small structure made and filled by stones, natural stones. Okay. This is the next future for us. Hopefully, for me, it is too far to arrive to have fencing in the top of the mountains against the snow, for the snow protection. And you see that the snow protection needs a lot of equipment. It's very expensive because helicopters has to bring the panels of the barriers, and it's a lot of work, very careful work, and needs a lot of money. When the touristic industry will go from the sea in the top of the mountain, we will be sure that it will be space to use also these products. Of course, I just stay for a while, very shortly. There is a product of us called mattresses. And it is called, if you can see in the literature, you can, let's say, browse in your research through internet. There is mattresses which is referred to a name, Renault mattresses. Renault is a river close to Bologna, passing through Bologna, in fact. And our first project, 140 years ago, was done for the Renault River to protect, because it was generating a lot of flooding around and creating a lot of, let's say, difficulties for the people, also for the agricultural development. So the first project was through our product mattresses, Renault mattresses, which is very useful product for the let's say river training. You can see a lot of other products used in the water, and to use the material in the water, you need to have materials. You need to have right elaborated materials. A lot of examples: flooding, emergencies. We have ready product in Europe, specifically also in Balkan. We have in Croatia. There is also Serbia, very well equipped. They keep a stock. They keep a stock with the SEC gabions, because at the moment, for instance, I saw during the flooding in Serbia, they have ready sacks that they put the material, they make the barriers against flooding. Here, not yet. We will hope that next future you will do something in the better way. Also, the small torrent rivers, which are very dangerous when it starts to rain, you know, and a very short time they are very aggressive. You have to start the protection during summertime when they have a very limited quantity of water. Sometimes they have zero. And you can do the protection working on summer for winter. Also, this is a river protection. And also these panels has to be constructed during the summer. Please be referred for all this product. You can find all the calculation software for every kind of product, which is free. So you can visit www.macaferri.com, Macaferri with 2 C, like this, and 2 R's, and you can download everything that you need. And all the softwares are updated continuously. We have a group of engineers and ITs which are working both sides to improve the products. Please, if you need help, assistance, during your research or during your preparation of papers, please refer to us, okay? Also, protection for the erosion control is important. You can see that a part of rocky slopes, you have also slopes that can slide, can be eroded easily when specifically you have done some works in the infrastructure. We have cases that some problems we do have many times in the sites. Some of my colleagues, they are aware about the problems when you made an excavation. Specifically, you have a clay structure, a poor geological structure, and after coming the rain, it is very dangerous. Somebody has unfortunately lost the life, staying under these structures and not doing appropriate actions. These actions, of course, needs care, needs specialized groups to be installed. Materials are all available from our side, but also installation is very important, by the way. Its safety instructions are very important. So there are products also friendly in that point that during passing time they are going to be integrated. We call biodegradable. Passing time they are becoming integrated with the slope. They are part of the slope, including also hydrocity, which also this is preferable. Especially there are engineers, civil engineers, which are too much friendly with the environment, and they like to produce they are also in the extreme sometimes using materials which are too much friendly with the environment. And this is one of the products also that you can have fun to use. Also drainage systems in the places where there is a lot of water and you need to drainage them. Synthetic materials from geotextile, also drainage systems. We do have all this range of products, and specifically we are developing for the tunnels the tubular arches. Tubular arches, usually in the tunnel they are used by profiles, but tubular arches filled also by concrete. Now they make fast the construction. They make less the use of this reinforcement inside of the tunnel, and is at the end a cheaper solution. Now this solution, it is just last year registered in Italy. So it's a new updated product. Also fibers, steel fibers, used for the shotcrete on the sides of the tunnel, together with the concrete. We have dosage machine that you can use together with the steel fibers. Of course, beside of steel fibers, you use accelerating materials, solutions, but to have in consideration, I don't know if you are specialized in tunneling, there was a big problem, a big accident, I can say, because it's not a problem, a big accident that it was in Monte Bianco. I don't know if you have heard tunnel. It was a big explosion after a big fire, big temperature. Many people died inside of the tunnel. It was a tragedy. The structure fell down due to the temperature and due that all the concrete was exploded. Now the new materials and new norms are foreseen to have the sides of the tunnel to be used by fibers, and in the final lining to use PP fibers. PP fibers permits you not to have cracks, big cracks, and to destroy the concrete. So using fibers, using new type of materials that we are going to develop, now it is a condition by European norms, maybe not yet in Albania, and I see also in other countries in Europe and whatever, but in Europe it is absolutely as a condition. Another point, I don't like to take more time, it is the facing reinforcement by fiberglass anchoring. So there are reinforcement, temporary, because there are permanently reinforcement through all the perimeter of the tunnel, and in the front face, when you have a very bad, and with a very bad structure, geological structure, that doesn't permit to you to advance according to your plan, and also creating to you a lot of difficulties, and at the same time very risky for the life of the people working in the front. So you use a temporary reinforcement. There are anchors produced as tubes with a certain thickness as walls of the tube, and which are prepared by fibers, glass fibers, and you can drill, you can put these anchors, and you be sure to advance without having damages, without having any accident. So you can see all these products are carefully selected and carefully designed in order to serve to the tunnel. I saw in the Norwegian, where there was the photo, TBM machines. We have the biggest TBM machine, 32.6 meter TBM machine, drilling machine for the tunnel at once, 32.6 meter diameter. I don't know if it's okay. This is a common area with the concrete. We use to produce also concrete element prefabricated. You see for the tunnels. This is important. And also asphalt reinforcement. This is a new product. Thanks God, this product is produced in Albania recently with the new line we have installed. We are much more exporting than using in Albania. This is another problem. For us as company is good because we sell and we export, but it's not good that this product for reinforcement of asphalt is not used in the country. Has a lot of advantage. Also steel fibers for industrial flooring. This cancel also the part of electro-welded panels. As reinforcement, you use just the fibers. Now I'm moving very fast because I eat too much of your useful time. And you can see that also concrete is part of our life, but with the solutions that we give for the applications in different fields. And we have companies which are built recently, which is serving for the environment. And also, these are a lot of research that we do for erosion control and whatever it is related to the environment. Of course, these are probably in the future we will use in our highways barriers, noises protection and whatever, you know. Because actually we have now the idea, the goal to build as much as possible new roads, new highways. But soon or late we will go to the barriers. I mean sound protection barriers. Okay, so I think I made all just the part of the erosion on the sea. Everybody maybe have heard through news. Probably it's very rare that somebody of you have started to design something or have studied the problem of erosion on the sea, on the seaside, the sea coast. You can imagine that hectares